The warriors.
Yes, sir.
Conquerors. Respect.
Shout out there.
Hey, look, I just left Atlanta. I said I'll be back in August. The way I go to work up in this bitch, I need an office. Pussy so good, should've put it in my coffin. If he play up that Glock like back the fuck up on me, nigga. He hurt and I can see it in his face. Time to bring that bait, my shit raw. I'ma bust their head no matter what I play. I'ma take the word, you get that bread, bitch. What I say, hold a run, going undefeated just like OJ. No, I gotta keep that little rascal in case it pump fake. Shorty called me, said she need that spanking. I said, okay, I lead by example. They are not a factor. You was not a queen, hoe, and we ain't the Black Panthers. 144 them, who they send to get them answers. I'm sicker than that cancer. I'm quick to get them bands. I don't know why they keep on playing with me. Who the one they said they give me? Miss Glizzy with me. Cook that beef so good, they like, who made the chili? Now they won't reconsider. Guess that I'm the one tripping. Drop the truth like Cat Williams. Come through the door like Pippi Pip. I'm always trying to flip my penny. Busy, I'ma be a minute. Get that dough like Mr. Sims. Listen, nigga, we back. Hey, look, I just left Atlanta. I said I'll be back in August. The way I go to work up in this bitch, I need an office. Pussy so good, should've put it in my coffin. If he play up that Glock like back the fuck up on me, nigga. He hurt and I can see it in his face. Time to bring that bait, my shit raw. I'ma bust their head no matter what I play. I'ma take the word, you get that bread, bitch. What I say, hold a run, going undefeated just like OJ. Niggas hate, yeah, what about it? I know about it, they can't stop it, ain't worried about it. Niggas fake, they ain't solid, no, I got it, I'm hard about it. Niggas mad, they can't take it. Niggas know they can't face me. She said, who he think he is? Right now, I look like God, baby. Standing on that block, baby. Raked up on they top, baby. Screaming, fuck the free world like Cheddar Bar. Busy man, bitch, I'm always on my job. Drop the album, got so many hits, might get a Rigo charge. See me throw that one up in the air like I'm E.T. They know they can't beat me. I can't get this game for free. Damn right, I'm U.P.K. I'll show you how to be a G. Long way from D.C. We was down in A&T. I ain't had them triple stack pills like it's GNC. We was getting to it, but we still ain't gon' pay the fee. Who me? I was pumping gas like the BP. About to blow like TNT. Let me put my shit on D&D. The coward shit I can't be. I'm a long way from B&E. Me and bro was laying in your shit before the B&B. At the Waffle House with y'all, I'm staking eggs with the sweet tea. Glock out on my lap, cause I ain't going out like P&B. Hey, look, I just left Atlanta. I said I'll be back in August. The way I go to work up in this bitch, I need an office. Pussy so good, should've put it in my coffin. If he play up that Glock like back the fuck up on me, nigga. He hurt and I can see it in his face. Time to bring that bait, my shit raw. I'ma bust their head no matter what I play. I'ma take the word, you get that bread, bitch. What I say, hold a run, going undefeated just like OJ.
Test 1 2 1 2. Shalakia. Test 1 2 1 2. It's all good. Most High in Christ, Shalom. Yahweh Shemal, shout out a thumb to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemar, all the thumb, Shemal, shout out all the sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General YAHANNA. Understand? This is the Friday Lashawan Qadash Hebrew class, the Hebrew class out here in Durham, North Carolina. Priest and Officer 1000 Thabawan holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Once again. All right, we're just gonna pick right back up. You know what I'm saying? Where we left off again. We're gonna switch pace a little bit with the class in terms of kind of how we approach the Hebrew. Because I see everybody, kind of really appreciates more of the kind of vocabulary that obviously Yanazar's been going into. So we're going to kind of continue with that, you know what I'm saying, for the foreseeable future, and just see, where that takes us. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe kind of getting some of that vocabulary down will make it a lot easier to to get into some of the more complex topics down the road. You know what I'm saying? Again, in terms of certain aspects of grammar and so on. Because the main thing is we want to be able to speak the language. That's the main thing. You know what I'm saying? So Salakia, just bear with me just one moment. Let me just send this email. Pardon me. Stream link. Also, if you have any questions related to the Hebrew, you know what I'm saying, Babu Shah, go ahead and ask your questions. All right. Salakia. All right, Most High in Christ. Okay. So last week, Officer Yanazar was talking about a little grammatical thing. He was talking about essentially what in English would be a suffix, right? Where's my marker? Oh, here we go. In English would be the suffix. So we're not going to go harp too long on this. But what he was talking about was in English, you have a few different suffixes to describe the origin of a thing. Excuse me. So like ite, I-T-E, right? That's one of them, right? Then there's also, you might have seen this before. It'll make sense in a second, right? What's another one? Sometimes you'll just see with an I at the end, but pronounce E, right? Then you might have no, that wouldn't really count. I'm trying to think of a good one. Oh, sometimes just A-N. We're wondering what do all of these have in common? What do all of these mean, right? These different suffixes in English. Well, now I'll put a word in front of it, you'll understand the meaning. Israelite. Egyptian, right? Even you could say Israeli, or what's another one that ends in E? You could what about someone from Pakistan is called a what? Or they are, sorry, it's like misspelling it. Pakistani, right? Someone who is from Africa is called an African, right? This is true of many other nations as well. It's just the designation, the suffix designation to say that you are that thing or you're from that place. Okay. And what Officer Yanazar was breaking down is that all of these actually originate from one singular Hebrew suffix, which is the Yah at the end of a word. You understand? Or the end of a place or a tribal designation or so on, right? So if you remember, Hebrew was read from right to left. So meaning this, if I wanted to say that someone is an Israelite, I would say what? I'm going to spell out the word Israelite. We'll do it in ancient, right? Yah, Shar, Allah. That's Israel in ancient Hebrew. To say Israelite, I would say Yashar, Allah, yeah, right? Yashar, Allah, that means Israelite. Okay. Same thing is true again of other nations. If I wanted to say that someone was an Edomite, what is the Hebrew word for Edom? The Hebrew word for Edom is Adawam, right? Adawam. Right? Adawam. To say Edomite, I would say what? Adawamya. Right? The same is true of the different tribes. If I wanted to say the word for Judah is Yahawada. If I want to say Judite, I would say Yahawada. You understand? Yashakaria. You understand? Raalbunya, and so on. Okay? So that understand that is the origin of all of these. Whether it be Ait, Shun, E, N, and so on, any kind of a designation again of where a person is from, tribal origin, or so on. It comes from this. You understand? And so also, so when someone makes a big thing about, okay, like for example, like you hear people, they say Israelis, right? Now we don't call ourselves Israelis. Why? Because the scriptures don't say Israeli. It's just a means of understanding that we're going by what the book says. The word Israelite is in the King James version of the Bible. As far as I know, the word Israeli does not appear in there, as far as I can recall. However, the word Israeli is not grammatically a different word or grammatically a different ideal. Yes, the people that over there, they call themselves Israelis, and I'm glad they call themselves something different than what we call ourselves. That's a good thing. But grammatically, that E at the end of a word and that ite at the end of a word is the same thing. They both come from Yah at the end of a word. You understand? So you can, pause, you can play around with it. And like, with other things, with other like, again, like different nations. You know what I'm saying? You might think of a person, if we're reading the scriptures again from a certain tribe, right? Like you might say the Jebusites, the Cushites, right? Because the Hebrew, what's the Hebrew word for Cush? I believe it's Kawash, right? If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Hebrew word for Cush is Kawash, which would mean, if we're right, when we go in the scriptures and look up the word, if we can find Cushite, it should say Kawashia. All right. We always want to get the mechanism in place. We want to get an understanding of the mechanism of Hebrew, so that way we can apply it to different things. Because I might have to say, I'm not always going to say the same sentence or try to get across the same idea. I need to know the mechanism or the system so I can replace words where I need to say what I need to say. So let's see if this mechanism we're talking about is true. So let's go and let's see if we can find the word Cush, which again I believe is Kawash. Let's see. And that would be correct. So here we go. So if you go to Blue Letter, right? Go to blueletterbible.org, right? You could use that, or if you have an actual Strong's Concordance, I encourage you to get one one of those. I'm not a fan of the one that says the Strongest Concordance. No, I don't really like that one. I like the regular Strong's Concordance. Okay. Now, if you get one of those, you'll be able to find it. It's Strong's number H 3568. You can see right there. I'll zoom in. You see that Hebrew? Now they have it in Assyrian. That's fine, but it's the same language. The letters correspond to the same pronunciations. So you see, you got a ka, a wa, and a sha right there. Kawash. Kawash. All right. So if we write that, I'm going to erase some other stuff, Salakia. But for now, this is fine. So Kawash in ancient, you understand, would be like oops, lucky. Kawash in Assyrian, it's like right, same word, Kawash, right? It means Cush, you know what I'm saying, which is one of the sons of Ham, right? African nation. Okay. So now we want to see if we can find Cushite. Let's see. Might be some kind of variation of it, but we're gonna make sure. I'm surprised. I can't even see the word Cushite. Let's see Cush. But no sweat, we'll use another word to show what we're talking about. Use another word. Right? We'll use another we'll use Canaan. Right? We'll use Canaan. Yeah, it is. We could use Cushite because it is correct. It is Kawasha, but it's just not written there. So I want to show you. So we'll say Canaan, which is ancient Hebrew for Canaan, right? Let me get the spelling right. Yep. Oh, I'm tripping. I'll be doing that sometimes, mixing the Assyrian with the ancient. Right. Canaan, right? Is Canaan in ancient Hebrew. Now let's see. So I'm gonna show you. And in Assyrian, that would be like this. Right? Canaan. Now let's look at it and see if we can find the word Canaanite. So here it is. Canaan, H3667. Canaan, right? Now let's see Canaanite. And it's actually right there, so we really don't even have to search much. But here it is. So H3669, you see, it is translated as Canaanite. You see that? Canaanite. And when we scroll up, it's the same thing, just with a Yah at the end. Canaania. Canaania. You follow? So we would just add the Yah. We would just add the Yah, you understand, at the end of each of these words. So in Assyrian, I mean, so in ancient Canaan, yeah. And then here we have to make a quick adjustment because we know that that na at the end of a word in Assyrian takes on this different letter form. The shape of it changes, but now it's not going to be the last letter in the word. So it goes back to the original form, the same as this one. Canaan, yeah. Okay. Most High in Christ. Does anybody have any questions on that particular topic as far as the different designations for the nations and so on? And again, you can use this for, Edomite, Jebusites, Cushites, Hamites, and so on. All right. No sweat. All right. But if y'all have questions at any moment, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? And I'll try to answer them. All right. Moving forward. So today's lesson, what we're going to talk about is mostly conditions. What I mean by conditions, we're taking it back, we're simplifying things a little bit. So we want to talk about how to express a feeling, a condition. We're going to get a grammatical word. Don't worry, we're not going to get too technical. But we're going to get a grammatical word to understand what that is. Everyone will know this word. And if we understand this, this is, again, one of those things where understanding the mechanics of it will make it easier just for us to kind of start flowing with it. And, you know what I'm saying, start making the language ours and just trying stuff to make it make sense, okay? Because that's how most languages are learned anyway. You know what I'm saying? You get someone who's not a native English speaker, when they first start speaking English, you know, they learn certain words first. And, you know, and it's still always going to be a little choppy, you know what I mean? But the point is, you know, to get to communicate this idea. I hate to use this example, but it's like some Moabite in the store telling you to hurry up and buy. You know what I'm saying? They don't speak English good. You know what I mean? That's not a well-made English sentence, but the point, you get what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we kind of want to do. We want to get the words and understanding, and then we'll build up from there. Okay? So we're going to start out. So first, I'm going to get the definition of the word adjective. That is essentially what we're dealing with today. We're dealing with Salaki. Why is my name just written up here? We're dealing with adjectives. Salaki. Count. So an adjective, right? It's a definition that I found that, you know, I like. A word or phrase, because a lot of times you look at adjective and it says a word that that modifies a noun, right? And that's true, but again, that's very grammatical. That's very scientific. Modify. What do you mean modify? What does it do? Right? But it says a word or phrase naming an attribute added to or grammatically related to a noun to modify or describe it. That's, I think, the best, most easy to understand definition. It is a word that provides an attribute to a noun, right? To almost to distinguish it more, to describe it, as it said, to describe its condition, something about it, okay? To make it plain in English, we might say the blue chair, right? Or that chair is blue. That is making it, it's describing, telling you what type of chair it is. So now that chair is not the chair that's red or the chair that's black, okay? But we use adjectives today. We're going to be talking about adjectives to describe ourselves or to describe a person. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning just simply, again, expressing a condition, a feeling, or something, because that is, again, some of the most basic, one of the basic tenets of language. If somebody dropped me in China, right, or some other place where I don't speak the language, I would like to at least be able to say, I'm hungry, so someone can point me in the direction of some food. I'm thirsty, so someone can point me in the direction of something to drink. You know what I'm saying? I may not know how to say, I would like a room at one of your finest hotels, please, with room service. I may not know how to say that, but if I can say I'm tired, need space or need room or something like that, basically someone can say, oh, okay, well, there's a hotel over there, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Basic um conditions that we can plug and play into our sentence structure to get a basic idea across. All right. So we're going to start out with the words. And again, the grammar will be part of it, but we're not going to harp too much on the grammar. And if you have any questions at any point, just let me know. All right. Salakia. Salakia. All right. So the first word, just like we just discussed, is the word for hungry. All right. Now, before we do that, we're going to just do it. We're not even going to go into it too much. All I'm going to tell you is this. To say I am, there's two ways to do it. There's the formal way, which is to use the word Anya. In ancient right, Anya means I or I am. Right. The other way is to use a preposition, it's really more like a prefix, which is which comes from Anya, at the beginning of said word. Okay, and we'll probably see examples of both when we read the scriptures related to these things. But that means you can either say Anya blank, the word for the adjective, or you can actually say just right, and attach it to the root word, right? That also means I, and we'll just say it's like informal. So it's a little more looser way of saying I. It's not the most professional way of saying it, right? The professional way would be to say Anya, right? But it's just adding that at the beginning, you know what I'm saying, is like the more informal way to do it. All right. Salakia. Let me just make sure this audio is good still. Make sure y'all hear me. Bear with me. Can we good? All right. So yeah, so this first word for hungry is ra'ib. Right? Which is hungry. Okay. Read a quick scripture that says it. And that's Strong's. This is H. This is H7457. Right? And if you go to the word, You'll see it there clear. Of course, it's written in Assyrian. It's written in Assyrian. But if we look at you see the part of speech, it tells you it's what? It's an adjective. Okay? Mm-mm. Let's go to 2 Samuel 17 and 29. In 2 Samuel 17 and 29, and honey and butter and sheep and cheese of kine for David and for the people that were with him to eat, for they said, the people is hungry. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, in modern English, this would be grammatically incorrect. The people is hungry is not, I don't know if this was subject, noun, agreement, or whatever it's called, but the people is plural. So technically, the conjugation of to be should be are in modern English. The people are hungry. But of course, that doesn't even matter in Hebrew because we don't have a connecting verb anyway. That's why when you read it, the is like kind of it's in italic, right? Let me zoom in. The people is hungry, but it is italicized because there's no actual Hebrew equivalent to that in the sentence. When we read it in Hebrew, right, which it says in Hebrew, Salakia, right, Salakia, or Wadabash, Wa Kama'ah, Wa Taza'an, Wa Shapawath, Bakwar, Hagayash, Salakia, Hagayashwa, La Dawada, Wa La'aim, Ashar, Athawa, La Akawal, Kaya, Amarwa, Ha'aim, that's the people. Ha at the beginning of the word means the. Ha'aim, I'm is people. Ha'aim, Ra'ib. Ha'aim, Ra'ib. It doesn't say there's no is. Literally, they show it as blank. There's no connecting. We don't have connecting verbs in Hebrew. Okay. So the people is hungry is simply Ha'aim, Ra'ib. The people are hungry. The people hungry. So how would I say I am hungry with that information? With that knowledge, how would I say I am hungry? Hmm? Anybody know? Anybody want to take a guess? One second. No sweat. Or we'll use this one. This one might work. Maybe we can use it for the next word too, because this was the next word. I don't want to get to that one yet. No sweat. So we could either just say what? Anya Ra'ib, or we can put an at the beginning of Ra'ib and say Ra'ib to say I am hungry. There's actually a third way, but we're not gonna. Today's class, we're not gonna go there. Okay, today's class, we're just gonna deal with this way, right? Anya blank or attached to the word. Okay. Then we have. So how would I say I am thirsty? How would I say I am thirsty? Let's see. Let's find the word for thirsty. The word for thirsty is tazma'ah. Page 6771. And also random, but if I could just clarify something from a week or two ago in the class that I was teaching, I said something about the word for woman or wife, which is the same word, having a certain categorization feature in it, a pluralization. That's not quite the case. So if you go back and watch that class, that that particular part of that class, I might have misspoken on that. It's not a pluralization, it's a regular root word. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a pluralization because of that ha, you understand, that can be at the end of a word, or like the pluralization again in like the word for fathers, the tha, right? I was saying because sometimes you'll see the tha at the end of the word for woman or wife, and I was saying that it was a pluralization similar to Abba can become Abath, meaning fathers, okay? But that's not the same thing that's happening with that word for wife. Just in case anybody tuned into that, just want to clarify that they don't operate the same. So to make that clear. But yeah, so thirsty. So to say thirsty, I would say what? Anya Tazama'ah. And the thing is this: if I speak Hebrew, right, I'm not gonna. I know what you mean. Like that's the key there is that I know what you mean. Um, I understand you because I know that Anya means I or I am. Or if you say at the beginning of the word, ra'ib, tazama you know, I know what that when you put an at the beginning of a word, what that means. Okay, so I'm gonna be able to follow with you. All right. And so now we're just going to get some more vocabulary words that you can plug into this. And then at the end of the class, you know what I'm saying, we got about 45 minutes, an hour left. The end of the class, I'll show you the third way that I was talking about in terms of how to formulate the sentence with I. For right now, we're only dealing with first person. We can do a whole lesson again. We could talk about second person, third person, fourth person, as in he is hungry, she is hungry, we are hungry, and so on. Right now, we're just dealing with first person. All right, Salakia. Bear with me. Yeah, Salakia. All right. So right now, of course, we are in, winter. We're in winter. So, a lot of times you might have to say, I'm cold. You know what I'm saying? You get in the cars with somebody that's like to have the windows down, even though, what I'm saying, it's February or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm cold. How would you say I am cold? You would simply say Anya or Quar. Quar is the Hebrew word for cold. Okay? Let's see if I could just find the reference number. H7119. And you'll see, now check this out. You'll see when you look in the concordance that there's a bunch of that there's other ways to say cold and so on, right? A lot of times, but remember, there's grammatical differences. All right. How you use a word determines the part of speech. Because winter cold or winter's cold is not the same, even though it's the same word, it's not the same part of speech as saying I am cold. One is a condition. Again, one is a description, one is a noun. You're describing a thing. If I say winter's cold, not winter is cold. I mean like winter's cold, if I'm reading poetry or something, and I say winter's cold was astonishing or something. That's like a noun. But if I say winter is cold, that's an adjective in that sentence. So this is an adjective for cold. So if I want to say I am cold, I can say Anya Quar, or I can say Quar, right? Meaning I am cold. Atazama, I'm thirsty. Araib, or Anya Raib. But again, that's very formal, right? Anya is a more formal thing. It's more serious. That's why when the Lord, a lot of times when the Lord, when the Most High is telling you who He is and what He's about, like when He said, "I am the Lord, I am Yahweh," or I am a man of war," He uses Anya because we're His children. He's not equal to us. You know what I'm saying? So He's not going to speak as informally. You know what I'm saying, with us. I'm saying he's serious business. But as we speak to each other, we can use either one, to get the point across of these. And like I said, we'll talk about the third one closer to the end of class. You know what I mean? But again, the water to everybody for tuning in. See, we got some viewers. Appreciate y'all. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrak a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shema al thun. Bashim Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Now, also, well, if we gotta say I'm hot, I'm cold, I gotta be able to say I am hot, right? Because some people, even though I know it's winter, now again, I'm not in New York, of course, right now, I'm in North Carolina, but you know what I'm saying, you down here, it's cold and all, but you get in some of these cars and somebody turn that heat up, and it's like, well, damn, this might be a bit much, so how do you say I am hot, right? Interesting story. It is from this word that several words, familiar words, emerge. Specifically, if you blackity blacks, you might know this word, Kemet. Kemet comes from this word. This Hebrew word we're about to use, it means hot. No sweat, right? The word is chum. You hear that pronunciation? Chum. It's not come. That is a cha. A cha. A cha. Right? It's like somewhere between a ha and a ka. You don't want to do too much pause, but it's a cha. Cha. So it's chum. Chum is the proper pronunciation. Of course, you're going to hear brothers say come. Right? They're going to just say, because again, accents and, brothers not used to speaking like this. So, you might hear it that way. And that's okay. We'll get it right. But the proper pronunciation when you see this CHAA is cha, which is, so it would be chum, which means hot. And it's from this word that kemet, the word kemet, comes from. Okay? Slaki. And this is H 25. And look at how it's transliterated, because there's another word that comes from this. And you see me, you gotta study, right? Who can guess the other word that we might know a little better than this that comes from this? We use in the UPK all the time to describe a certain group of people. If somebody gets it, I'll give you 10 seconds. If somebody gets it, I'll be impressed. Which again shows the correlation to the Bible. No sweat. This word also is this word. Ham. That's right. Ham, as in the son of Noah. One of the three sons of Noah. Shem, Ham, Japheth. Right? That's his name in Hebrew. And that is where this word comes from. So this anglicized version is just the English version of this. And it is from this we get this. So these two words are practically the same. Right? In fact, what is a person who is a descendant of Ham called? A Hamite. So if we were to say it in Hebrew, how would we say that? Really, we would say what? We would say Chamya, Hamite, right? But if we were just for sugar honey iced tea and giggles, if I was to say this and mix it with ite, I would say what? Chamite, Hamite, Hemet, Hamite, Hemet. There's a relation there. All right. But nonetheless, the adjective to say hot is chum. So I would say anya chum. Right? Or achum. Achum. I'm hot. Achum. It's funny. We're not going to get into that, but you could also say it's hot. We would say something like hawa achum. Hawa it is. Right? Hawa is like to be. It is hot. Hawa khwar. Hawa tazama. Hawa. It's a lot here. Pardon me. It's like southeast. kind of, I think it is kind of hard to find. It's like see a southeastern.
Okay. I don't see nothing that say that out here.
It's like in like it's kind of in the cut, like it's in like a little shopping center. Salaki, bear with me. Salaki, right? I want to get a matter of fact. The next one we'll get an example of what we're talking about. We'll see it actually play out in the scriptures, right? So again, Anya or Ra'ib, Tazama, Quar, Hum, right? Now let's jump to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 10. And we're going to see something in the Hebrew that's going to give us a new word, and we're going to see this exact mechanism play out. Genesis 3 and 10. Okay. Genesis 3 and 10. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. All right. When we read this, it says in Hebrew, Waya Amar, Ath, Qualka, Shama'ithya, Bagun, Wa, Yara'a, Kaya, Ayarum, Anakia, Wa Akaba'a. Right? A few things happening in that sentence. That word Anakia at the end also means I. Right? But again, you don't see that used as much. In fact, if we click on it, it's a personal pronoun for I, but there's a thing that says something, Salakia. And the pause the tone. See, it says this is the original and fuller form, Salakia, and is on the whole rather less frequent than the shorter, though in the Pentateuch it is more often found, while in some of the later books as Chronicles and Ecclesiastes it does not occur at all. Right? If you read the Jacinius's Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, it basically tells you that Anakia, which is where Anya comes from. So Anakia is the longest form, Anya is the shortened form, and then is an informal preposition based on that. But it tells you that the longer form, Anakia, is just not as frequent in the scriptures. It's more frequent in the first 5 books, but then after that you don't really see it at all. Okay, so that's why we use Anya. It's just more common in the scriptures, right? But at the end of the sentence, Salakia, I said what? I said wa yara. The y just means end, but it said yara. The word for afraid or fear, afraid or fearful, Salakia. Yeah, Salakia. Just on the phone with Officer Yarmak. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready for that Chain Breakers podcast, the best podcast in the world. If you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? It'll be going down in a little bit over in about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. So get ready for that. You know what I'm saying? The world through it, you know what I'm saying? The Israelite perspective. You know what I mean? But we entertaining as well. Hold on. Con. Salakia. So it means afraid or fearful. All right. And the word is yara'ah. Well, I did it backwards. Did I? No, I kind of did. Salaki. I want to fix it. Salaki, let me do this right. I don't like to. And that is H 3372. H 3372. Right? So literally, now again, that Y at the beginning just means end. So if we read it, you'll see that it says, right? And I was afraid. And I was afraid. You know what I'm saying? And I was afraid. Right? Sequential imperfect. That's all kind of grammatical stuff. Right? But yara. So again, same thing with all of these, right? Yara, hum, quar, tazama, ra'ib. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't got to worry about going somewhere and somebody only speaks Hebrew, because that's what's going to happen soon. Pretty soon you're going to go places, you're going to be around people, and don't nobody speak no English. Well, Lord willing, we're going to get to that place. You know what I'm saying? In the kingdom, man, we're going to be speaking Hebrew for sure. Right? But we want to get there where we can speak this language. We can understand each other. You know what I'm saying? The same way we incorporate other small things into our dialogue. We say Salakia, you know what I'm saying? Khan, you know what I'm saying? Baba Kushah, so on. Let's incorporate some more. Let's incorporate some more of that into the English. To the next thing you know, we saying we didn't damn near had a whole conversation and maybe 2 little English words popped up. You know what I mean? That's how we want to get it. Okay? So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Bear with me. Let's see. Let's see about I am angry. No. I got to get a clarification on that one first. So we'll do another one. Mm-mm. 1 second. Did thirsty, hungry, cold, hot, afraid. Mm-mm. All right. What's the way we might say I am happy? There's probably a few ways to say, but here's one word. That means like joyous or jubilant, right? Is al-yazah. H5947. Al-yazah. Anya al-yazah. I am joyous. I'm overjoyed. You know what I'm saying? I'm overjoyed. All right. Oh, let me get that out the way so y'all can see it. The screen, Salakia. Pardon me. But yeah, but still like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Let's see. We got about 20 minutes left. So I'm trying to think. Should we get some more words, or should I show y'all what I was talking about earlier? That third one. I think we'll throw in that third one now, right? So remember, I mentioned that this is one. These are two ways to say to a first person description, or describing a condition or so on, a state of yourself. There's a third way to do it, right? Again, I won't get too technical with the jargon, but remember we talked about a thing a few months back where we talked about what? We talked about object pronouns and what? Subject pronouns. Object pronouns, subject pronouns. The simple way to look at it, object pronouns, the object is the doer of the action. Subject pronouns, the person is the receiver of an action. The difference between saying I am upset and saying you upset me. See the difference? I am upset is describing whose condition? Mine. You upset me is describing whose condition? Trick question. It's still describing my condition. Except in one, it's all about me. I didn't tell you how I got upset or whatever. The point of the sentence is to get the idea across, because that's what all of this is. Everything we're doing, language, all of it is just communication. I'm just trying to get one idea out of here and into your mind. In one, the only idea I'm trying to get across to you is how I feel. In the other, the idea I'm trying to get across is what you did. You did something that resulted in me feeling a certain way, but the person who did the thing is you. If I say, you upset me. So yes, I am a part of the sentence. My condition is being described, but I am not the subject of the sentence. It's about what you did. Okay? Why do I bring that up? Because we can utilize that form in Hebrew as another way to describe ourselves, or to describe our condition. All right? And how do we do that? Does anybody remember? Anybody remember? We simply did this. The same way how I at the beginning of a word is a first person singular pronoun. Yah at the end of a word is also a first person singular pronoun, or it can be. Actually, technically, it is called a pronominal. Pronominal, which simply means that it can function as either a pronoun or, well, still a pronoun. This means that it's a pronoun. It functions as a pronoun. It can either be a what? And subject pronoun, or a what? Or my favorite word, everybody knows I use it all the time, a possessive pronoun. What is the difference? Again, we will not go into a long detective thing about it. And again, we're only supposed to be doing first person today, but just for, and giggles, I'll just show you what I mean. So in English, if I want to describe ownership of something, first person ownership of a thing, I'm going to say that it is mine, or that's my whatever. Right? In Hebrew, we do this by adding Yah to the end of a word. I'm writing like that because remember, he was written from left. In fact, similar to what we talked about with the ITs and the TIANs, Egyptian, Moabite, Hamite, so on and so forth. It actually uses the same mechanism. Yah at the end of a word means my, or it could mean me. So a noun, if I put it at the end of a noun, it'll be saying what? That thing is mine. For example, the common one, if I want to say, so how do we say name in Hebrew? The word for name is shum. My name, Shumya. The word for brother, Ach. My brother, Achya. You understand? That's how it's used. But that's not the only way it's used. It's also used again as an object pronoun, as in there's scriptures where the Lord might say, those that love me. He's going to use this. He's going to use the word for love, which I think is ahab. And he'll say, ahabya, love me, or hate me, remember me, right? Con, let's get a quick example of that, and then we'll jump into how we can use this with these adjectives, and we'll get examples so you can see that I'm not just making stuff up. Salaki. Bear with me just a moment. One moment. Mm-mm-mm. I think this might be right here. This might work. Bear with me. Just looking for the scripture real quick. It's funny, it says it a bunch of times. No, not that one. I think this is the one I'm looking for. Salaki. I think I got it. Con. Yep. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20 and verse 6. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 6. Most High in Christ, my brother. Hey, Shalom. Yeah, you right in time. I'm about to help me wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we're going to Exodus. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 6. And it says in English, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Love me, like I said. Right? And when you read it in Hebrew, Salakia, Aisha, Chasad, La Alapium, La Ahabia, Wala Shamaria, Matazawathia. So in this very sentence, you see both versions or both uses of the first person pronoun, where it says, of them that love me. So it says la ahabia. That's two. La at the beginning of the word is two. Ahab is love, and Yah at the end is again is me in this form of this sentence. To them that love me, right? Then it says, also it says, Matazawathia. Matazawath is commandment, right? Or commandments. Matazawathia, you understand, is my commandments. You understand? But now let's jump back to these conditions and see, and let's see, you'll see what I mean. Mm-mm. So remember I said some of these are also not always adjectives. Sometimes they're different things for different reasons. We're going to get an example of that right now. If we go to Judges 4:19, and he said unto her, give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And she opened a bottle of milk and gave him drink and covered him. Plain as day, right? For I am thirsty. When we read it in the Hebrew, it says, Waya Amar, Al Yaha, Hashakya, Hashakya Naya, Na'a, Ma'ita, Mayum, Kaya, Taza Ma'athya, Wa Thapathak, Salakia, Ath, Na'awada, Ha, Khalab, Wa, the Shak Hoa, Wa, the Kas, the Takasawa, Salakia. But that part, Taza Ma'athya, comes from this thirst. But it doesn't say Anya Tazma'a or Tazma'a. It says Tazma'afya, right? The tha there is like a buffer, right, between that and the ya. But it's the ya. Let's look when we click on it. Let's see what it says. See, it says perfect first person common singular. So it is first person. How does it become first person? Because of the ya at the end, right? And that's a verb. This thirst is not an adjective. Interesting, right? This thirst is a verb. Let's get another example, right? So even though in English it's saying, I am thirsty, in Hebrew it's less so saying, I am thirsty, and saying my thirst. You understand what I'm saying? It's more so saying like possessively, right? Like I have thirst or my thirst is more so what it's saying, which again, same idea, but grammatically not the same. Let's see another one. Let's go to Genesis 27:46. And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these, which are of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? Right? Now, she said, I am weary. Right? She said, what the Amar? Rabakwa al Yatazakak Quatazathia. That's the word for weary. The word for weary is Quataza or Quataza. But to say I am weary, it says Quatazathia. Again, that tha is a buffer. The ya at the end is the important part. That's what makes it first person. And again, it is a verb. Stressed, to be stressed, be grieved, loath, vexed, to be weary. So it's like saying, my weariness. Y'all follow me? Because again, like I said at the beginning of class, almost all of these can also be verbs and sometimes nouns. Because if I say, I am thirsty, thirsty is a condition. But thirst is a noun, and thirsting is a verb. Hungry is an adjective or a condition. Hunger is a noun. So if I say my hunger, you got something? I'll take a little something. Yeah, sure. If I say my hunger, that is a noun. That is a thing that I'm saying I have. It is still describing my condition, but grammatically it is not a descriptive. You understand? So you'll see both in the scriptures. For now, here's what I want everybody to do. I want you to find more adjectives or certain verbs. And I want you to write them out and add an ah at the beginning of the word. If it's a verb, I want you to put a ya at the end of the word to describe the condition of yourself. My sadness, right? If I say such and such, my sadness, da, 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 is that much different to water? Is that much different to water? Is that much different from saying I am sad? No. It's the same thing. All right? And so that's what we're going to operate under. We're going to find out more ways to describe the conditions. Obviously, Yanazar, give him a hand clap, damn right. The water to my brother who's been holding it down tremendously for several weeks as we work out the time of the podcast and everything, getting it right. The water to him, probably like 7:30. I'm for 7:30. But understand this, he's been coming with these vocabulary words, and he's on the right track. That's what we want to get back to. That's what we're going to start doing. We're going to get the vocabulary words and just simple ways to use them. I want to start hearing some quars and hums and ra'ibs for some of these things. You know what I'm saying? When you're hungry, you want to get some food? I want to hear ra'ib. You know what I'm saying? If we in the school and you want Yanazar to turn that heat on, I want to hear quar. I'm cold. You know what I'm saying? The heat's pumping too much. Hum. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, the Yara out here, this is not afraid like cowardice. You understand? This is afraid like, again, like fearfulness, almost like fearing the Lord. Right? So it's like positive in a way, or it can be. You should be Yara'ah of the Most High. Salaki. But Khan, let me check one more thing. We're going to clip it in just a moment. Let me just check one more thing. Salaki. Bear with me one moment. We're going to end it in just a second. We'll check one more thing. Say that. I don't know if I want to use that word. Found it. Uh-oh. Here we go. So now we found a nice example of one of the other ones we discussed, right? How it's written is going to throw you off a little bit, but trust me when I tell you, this is exactly what, it's the same thing as we've been talking about. So this is going to be the last scripture for the day, and we're going to wrap it up. Go to Joel, chapter 3 and verse 10. This is another one of my favorite scriptures. Talking about the end times, man. And you see this scripture playing out right now. The whole chapter playing out right now. Joel chapter 3 and verse 10. I'm going to read it. The book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right? This is after the scripture that says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. That's what's happening. All the men of war coming up. You've seen it all over the news. You've seen it all over social media, everywhere you go. Every day you see some new threat of some kind, or somebody's doing some kind of military, something to drill, some country that you didn't even know had a military. Now they're doing a military drill, you know what I'm saying, a Navy exercise. The men of war are getting stirred up. The spirit of the Most High is moving over this earth, man, and waking them up because they got to go to war. They got to go to war so that we can be free. Okay? But that scripture that says, at the end, it says what? Let the weak say, I am strong. Simple. Basic. First person pronoun. Adjective. Right? And that word for strong is both an adjective and a noun. And that word is gabawar. H1368. Gabawar. Right? Means strong. It is an adjective and a noun. And it says in Hebrew, Slakia, Kathawa, Athyakum, La Karabawath, La Mazarathiakum, La Ramachyum. Y'all heard that? Does that sound familiar? La Ramachyum. Come on, is Durham in the chat? La Ramachium is the word I just said, but you said there's a part of it that sounds familiar. And I'm about to give you the answer. That part is the part where it says into spears. La Ramachium, into spears. What's another word for a spear? Ramach means a spear or a javelin. Right. So Ramach is like his, or he is a javelin. He is the Lord's javelin. Right. So with that being said, Salakia, it says, Kathwa, Athiakum, Lakarobath, Ha Khalash. This is the part where it says Ya Amar, let them say, or the weak, Ha Khalash, or Khalash is the weak, or Ha Khalash is the weak. Ya Amar, say, let them say, Gabawar, Anya. Threw you off a little bit? I just showed you a fourth way to say it. Meaning what? As we've discussed in this class so many times, in Hebrew, you can talk like Yoda. That's simple. You can reverse the order of the pronoun and the adjective, or the pronoun and the noun. You can say Anya Gabawar, or you can say Gabawar Anya. That's what this sentence says. It says Gabawar strong. I am. All right? But still, it's the same thing. Anya Gabawar, Anya. Same thing. All right? No sweat. The Most High in Christ. The water for everybody tuning in today. We tried a different time today, and that's no sweat, man. You had some viewers in here. Appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? So next week, we're going to again continue with this. Conceptually, we're going to continue with these vocabulary words and basic. Let's put this in our mental Rolodex. These words. Let's try to remember one. Let's try to remember one and use it in different ways. You know what I'm saying? I might start saying, oh, you got some gobble war, even though there's other ways you can say it. You know what I'm saying? I might still just say, hey, gobble war, strong, right? And it'll help us. It'll help us get better. Salakia. See Kudum in the chat. Most High in Christ Khan. Yarmak, right? Damn right. But Salaki, with that, you know what I'm saying? We about at the end of the time for today's class. You know what I'm saying? All right. So if there's no questions, are there any questions online? Anybody got any questions? If not, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, next week we'll pick it back up. We'll also get some different perspectives instead of just first person. We spent all day on first person. Next time we'll also implement, you know what I'm saying, some second person and third person with this same concept. All right. But with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to priest and officer of 500, Yanazar. Okay.
I mean, they're gonna be in there. I'm just saying.
You got
I know they're giving them to the officer.
Oh, someone with the answers in them. To the office, means to the troopers.
Well, we got 250s, right?
But what they need that for?
They gotta become officers. They gotta pass the test before they do.
You just said 250s.
250s.
Yeah, two what?
2 officers of 50s.
What about them?
Like they're gonna have to take the test. Oh, they are.
I'm waiting. I'm like,
Yeah.
no sweat. That's what I'm saying. But we do have a trooper though. He has to take it. For sure. No, he's what?
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10 means 10th in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, I think it's March 14th, the Feast of Purim. Okay, and we'll be giving you further information as we go on, but as of right now, it's March 14th. Remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he has to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, in the visual, I imagine. Did it reach? Okay. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Amajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Bashem Hashai Barakatah. Yajmitah. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel. Amajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Shema Alatah Bashem Hashai. Yajmitah, class dismissed.